Matt Meany of IrishBoxingCom association with PD giveaways. Michael Conlan, we are nearing fight week. Belfast, you're coming back home. Um, just the kind of the final feelings heading into that week. I guess it's good to be home finally or coming home.
Yeah, mate, I'm excited for it. It's just around the corner now, a few days away basically, and I'm feeling good. Nice, chilled, ready to put on a show.
What can we expect from Michael Conlan coming back home? Are there extra nerves, Michael? Obviously, you fought in
No,
the SSE Arena before.
no, mate. I think I'm past that stage of nerves and arenas. I'm boxing 27 years. It doesn't really fucking matter where. It's just another venue. May be home and it may be good to be back and stuff. And if you look at the last two teams I fought there, I've lost, but who cares really? It's just another ring, another venue. You gotta go and do a job, and I'm in a great place mentally and physically, so I'm excited for it.
Has that come up in your mind at all? Obviously the two losses in that, or does that phase you at all, Michael?
No, no. Listen, I've lost all around the world as an amateur, and fucking lost at home as an amateur, and you know, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just another fight.
As in, like I guess I don't know. Kind of, I do kind of feel though when people come home, and especially if it's a special place to come home to, that there's going to be nerves. But again, as you said, it's not going to be there. It's going to be just another venue locked in, and there's a job to be done. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, mate. Listen, you know, me coming back in general last March, I wasn't nervous at all. And I was actually worried because I wasn't nervous at all. It actually bothered me a bit. I was going, I was making myself nervous because I wasn't nervous.
Yeah.
And then fighting in Dublin for the first time, you could be going, fuck, he must be nervous. There's a lot of pressure. He's wanted to fight in Dublin for so long and now he's here and you know, does he still have it all out there thing people could have been asking, but again, not really nervous at all.
I guess with the venue, like, was Dublin again an option? I know Belfast. Yeah, Belfast is great, but I know the PDC are there on the Thursday with the darts. Do you know why there was Dublin like again an option for March 20th?
Dublin was the first option. Dublin was the date Queensbury have the week
Okay.
before. That was the date I wanted. That was the date I told them to get immediately after my fight, but they don't think they were quick enough. And Queensbury had jumped in. They had seen obviously, what I'd done, and they went, "We want that date," because they knew that would be the date. That was the perfect date. And as you seen, it sold out. Fantastic. I'm delighted for them. Delighted for Pierce. Delighted for Anto. Delighted for Jazz. Delighted for all of them who was on the show. Jono and Callum. It's going to be a great show for them, and it's an unbelievable arena. I really do hope to get the fight there again at some stage
Will you be
because
watching
it's a of course I'll watch. Of course, it's a great night of boxing.
live in the zone as well? Where your fight would be MF Pro debut. Um, how I know that this starts, but just for the people who didn't watch the last interview, how did this MF Pro thing come about? Just you signed the contract and it was just
No, there's no nothing officially saying. It's like I think the change of the Wasserman and Misfits Pro. I think Wasserman have now sold to Misfits Pro, and I was with Colin Nissa, and you know they were Wasserman. Now they're moving to MF Pro, and it's where I'll be then. So we'll see. Hopefully it goes well. You know, needs a lot more kind of pushing and promotion around it, if I'm honest. Um, so yeah, I'm excited for it. It's good to be the first person fighting on their promotion, the first main event of their promotion, uh, and their first show. So it's good. But again, it's just another fight.
haven't watched the. Have you looked at much of them? I know obviously I think you've said in the past that you look at about a minute or so of opponents.
30
You need that for the
seconds.
grant.
30 seconds is a
Why
lot.
is it that short, Mick?
I don't need to overlook things and overcomplicate things. Anybody you're fighting, you always make them to be much better in your head. And if I'm seeing some things that happen, I go, fuck, 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 that's good, that's good, that's good. I could build him up to be something that he's not. But yeah, listen, I've watched enough to know all I need is 30 seconds to know, and I can see mistakes right away and what I can capitalize on right away, and where my advantages are and where his disadvantages are, and all things like that. So, yeah.
Have you has you've said there that you kind of when you look at opponents, you may kind of sometimes make it out to be better than it is. Has that happened before, where you've kind of
I
you fall
think you
into that
have
trap?
to. No, it's not a trap. I think you have to. You have to expect the like a monster in front of you where you have to be very smart and switched on. If you're going in and you're going watching someone, if I watch too much of someone, I go, oh, he's fucking not that good, and then you make a mistake and get caught. It's silly. You have to build them up to be, unbelievable and really really talented and dangerous. So that's something that I think is a good thing. Where you have to build them up in your head, but you can overdo it or you can underdo it. But I think 30 seconds of watching someone is enough, and then I listen to Grant. Grant will study. Grant watches all the time, and he'll be in the gym this here and that. They'll tell me this, tell me that, and you're like, this was going to work, this is not going to work, and things like that. So it's his eyes, which I need the believe, and I do. I trust him. I think he's a fantastic coach, and the things which we're working on will pay off.
Just on to your lads, Kevin, Jay, Dean, and I think Joe Joyce has been thrown in there somewhere. I've seen a sneaky little
Joe,
collab on Instagram.
no,
Just
no,
kind of
Joe
first on
Joyce.
Kevin. He posted a post this morning on Instagram. Anyone fancying away day? Any more on that at all whatsoever?
I've kind of stepped back from doing a lot of the management stuff, if I'm honest. And Kevin's got a fight abroad. Um, I don't know too much about it. As I said, I've stepped back and I'm taking a back seat. Dean, I think I've let Dean go, and I think Dean's going to Jay Quigley, I think.
Okay, Jay.
So that's he's with Mark Dunlap at the minute.
Okay, right. And Joe Joyce just on a final one.
Yeah, Joe Joyce have the fighters who I'm primarily looking after at the moment would be Joe Joyce and Gina Boston. Um, Joe, we'd agreed to the Yoka fight in January, and then we're told a day before the announcement of Yoga versus Coley that they're doing that fight instead. I'm like, we've agreed this, and now it's changed. And I had a little bit of back and forth messaging with Tony, and he was like, "Oh, you should have done more videos and stuff." I think he wanted the fight too. I don't think it was Yoga's decision not the fight, Joe. I think it was more just Queensbury's decision, or maybe the broadcaster's decision. So, um, yeah, Joe will be back soon, and Joe is now training with Sugar Hill, and by all means, the improvements are unbelievable, and the belief Sugar has in him gives me even more belief in him, even though I had belief in him. I trained with Joe. Me and Joe were in the same stable with Adam Booth for a while, and I've seen that guy as a heavyweight spar 12 rounds, 15 rounds with 4 different guys, and there's no expression on his face. There's no sign of tiredness. There's no sign of being hurt or anything. He's a machine. And people think like people have says like no he's punchy and all this here shit. People don't only understand Joe is neurodivergent.
Hey, get in.
So like this it's nothing to do with being punchy. It's he's just not as quick at reacting. He's never been medicated for any of this. This is all only recent. We have got to the bottom of all this. Joe is not punchy at all. Joe is quite very very smart and very very attuned to what's going on. So you're going to see Joe Joyce 2.0, possibly heavy world champion in the next few years.
Michael, on that note, one final one. What can we expect from you March 20th at home in Belfast against Kevin Walsh for the WBC International Featherweight title?
Masterclass, a
Michael Conlan,
masterclass.
on that note, really appreciate it. Enjoy your coffee and your morning and your COD Warzone, which I can see the setup right behind you.
That's
Um,
it's not, you can't really see it properly, and
I heard you an absolute sweat on that game.
I
Grinding.
was, but I've dropped off. In fairness, when I only play it when I'm in training camp,
The
and
Michael Conlan Warzone fall off. It's coming. It's probably when it came.
the Michael Conlan of lockdown Warzone. I think in
That was a grim
lockdown,
time.
well, it was the best time for Call of Duty anyway. That was the only good thing about lockdown was Call of Duty. Like I remember, I think I done from the start of lockdown.
You used to
I
live
never
stream
play.
it.
I used to live stream all, but I stopped doing the streaming because I think I would get cancelled. You know, I would get cancelled. I stopped to delete my videos after every stream because I was like, no, someone could clip that now and get cancelled.
That could be put into the wrong context if it was to be put into the wrong context. That kind of thing.
Yeah, one of them once. So someone's ringing me. But
Which foot? And one final one. What has been watched more this camp, The Godfather or Gladiator?
you know what? I've only watched The Godfather once. I haven't watched The Gladiator at all. I've been chilling playing COD more than anything.
Right. Mick, on that note, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Easy, mate. Speak to you soon.